I think we're at the nexus of a solution that the market is really desperate for. And fortunately, from a regulatory standpoint and from a product standpoint, now is the tipping point.
This is 401k Specialist Editor-in-Chief Brian Anderson, and this is the 401k Specialist Podcast. The landscape of retirement planning is undergoing a significant transformation. New challenges have emerged, requiring a more extensive approach than the old traditional models that were focused primarily on wealth accumulation. To tackle these challenges, a closer examination of the risk landscape is necessary, which can pave the way for more holistic approaches to retirement income planning that prioritize risk management and securing sustainable income rather than simply accumulating assets. We're going to talk about it all right after this brief message.
At Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, we understand the importance of a holistic approach to retirement planning. That's why we're leading the way with forward-thinking insights and practice management tools to help you fuel your income knowledge. Visit allianzlife.com/DC Plan Research to access these resources and learn more about how annuities can help participants prepare for a secure retirement.
Joining us today to discuss what's changed and how the industry is addressing new risks relating to the challenge of generating retirement income, we have a pair of industry subject matter experts in Joshua Grass, Relationship Manager, Defined Contribution at Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, and Todd Levy, Managing Director, RIA with the Retirement Plan Company. Joshua and Todd, welcome to the 401k Specialist Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
All right, Josh, we're going to start off with you, and Todd, feel free to jump in. First off, how has the landscape of retirement planning changed in recent years? And tell us about the new challenges that have emerged.
Yeah, of course. We are really seeing kind of a culmination of factors putting the retirement plan landscape really at a tipping point. And there's really a few that stand out to me. First of which, individuals are living longer. 71% of 65-year-olds can expect to surpass age 80, and nearly 30% of those living past 90, and 11% reaching the age of 95. Really putting a stress on how much we need to accumulate and how we spend those down in retirement. And two, less recent, but really kind of over a period of time, the shift from traditional defined pension plans to defined contribution plans, putting the onus of saving and managing risk on the participant. And three, adding to the urgency of these challenges, we're witnessing a surge in the number of retirement age individuals. 11,000 Americans every day will turn 65 from now until 2027. That's 4.1 million Americans a year.
Yeah, it's had peak 65. We got that peak 65 going. Todd, you got anything to add?
Yeah, Brian, thank you for having me, and Josh, pleasure to join you today. Such a topical conversation that we're having here that continues to just grow and grow and grow. And I think whether it's from asset managers and product providers, industry mouthpieces and PR, as well as service providers like ourselves, we're all learning, but I think we're learning at a very rapid pace, and we're really motivated by that baby boomer cohort that is asking, whether directly or indirectly, for more help to make sure that they have enough money, that they don't outlive their retirement savings, and that they can have a dignified and enjoyable retirement. I mean, I think the key item in my mind is time, right? People are struggling to allocate time to build a solid plan for retirement, and they're really focused on maximizing the time that they value in retirement. So I think we're at the nexus of a solution that the market is really desperate for. And fortunately, from a regulatory standpoint and from a product standpoint, now is the tipping point. And like I said, I don't think people really ask for this by prescription, but if you speak to them one by one and or their employers, the expectation is that this is a plan for retirement that should provide a benefit by definition through retirement. And the only way to really do that is through some type of guaranteed solutions as part of the solution. So I think there's a lot for us to chip away at here, and the timing is right, the environment is right, and from a demographic standpoint, clearly the numbers are right.
All right. Todd, we're going to stick with you on this next one. Now, we know that many retirement plan strategies have traditionally focused heavily on wealth accumulation and have not put much of an emphasis on the decumulation phase. While important, tell us about the limitations this can have and how can we adapt these strategies to also prioritize the creation of a sustainable income stream for retirees.
Yeah, I think that kind of dovetails right into where I was leading, which was participants, at very best, we can hope that they're reasonable, informed, and good savers, but they're really not prepared to understand how to budget out a retirement income need or asset allocation decision making or risk management or risking or de-risking, in the accumulation. I mean, these are really big asks that we put on individuals over the last 30 years. And I think that if you look at the regulatory path, you can see that it's clear that we as an industry have benefited significantly from the guardrails that the regulators have provided us. So if you go back to PPA 2006 and you saw it with automatic enrollment, automatic increases, QDIA changes that are really, bringing forward things like target date funds that have proven to be outstanding vehicles for accumulation, we can see that this path is continuing in recent years through Secure that has made the way for benefits that can be deployed post-retirement during that decumulation phase. So, I would imagine and I would hope that there'll be even more safe harbors and more protection for service providers and fiduciaries alike and clearer guidelines for product creators so that we can really dive into really even more challenging part, which is the decumulation. If you thought accumulation was a challenging mathematical equation for participants to try and take on, now trying to figure in decumulation and longevity and lifestyle and needs versus wants and all these things that come into play. And obviously much has been written and documented about sequencing of returns and taking out withdrawals during down market. I mean, there's so many complexities that we can kind of go on and on and on about. And I think the answer is this needs to be put into a service. There are investments for accumulation. There are vehicles for decumulation that can be traditional assets as well as kind of newer asset types in retirement plans, such as guaranteed income solutions. But the best way to deploy this is going to be through some type of service that is data dependent. Record keepers like TRPC, we have access to a lot of information. With that information and really thoughtful design of services, I think we can help participants take off, remove the burden that I think a lot of them feel. They know what they would like in a retirement experience, but they don't know how to achieve it. And through smart, low cost, efficient, scalable services, I think that's where the future is headed when you think about the nexus of asset managers, plan fiduciaries, and service providers like the record keepers. So.
All right. Josh, got anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I think the industry has got to do a better job at providing access to services that Todd's really alluding to or personalized advice. And I think firms like TRPC and individuals like Todd are helping the industry get there. And it's, especially if we shift focus from accumulating assets to spending down those assets, it's important to consider the underlying solutions we're leveraging to ultimately help us achieve that desired outcomes. And so really drilling down into the guaranteed lifetime income. In-plan annuities can be a valuable solution for a holistic retirement plan that goes beyond just accumulation. An absolute shocker coming from the insurance guy, right? But these solutions can be used to convert a portion of retirement assets to guaranteed stream of income in retirement. And for participants that know they have a monthly income that they can rely on for as long as they live, that can be an incredibly good benefit from a behavioral perspective, as Todd's also alluding, but also it's important from a risk management perspective. Beyond just solving for longevity risk, annuities provide a level of protection from market downturns that help address various other market risks. Obviously we all know risks are balanced through diversification. Stocks might help you grow your money faster, but they come with more volatility, where bonds might have lower growth and may not be enough to ultimately achieve the balance you're looking for. But annuities add a degree of diversification. They guarantee you a stream of income for life, and even if the market takes a dive. So that can free up other assets to help provide and focus on growth. Further, many modern annuity solutions include growth potential that help offset impacts of inflation. And They can also be combined with personalized advice or as a service that we're continuing to mention that can further amplify their impact.
All right, that's quite the list. So, Josh, we've talked a lot about the different retirement risks. Can you share some insights into how participants perceive the risks they face in retirement? What are their biggest concerns and perhaps some strategies for addressing them?
Yeah, of course. We actually just released a white paper here at Allianz that really reviews the evolving risks and how participants feel about those risks. And to just really highlight a few, the fear of running out of money. One stat that always really shocks me is that 63% of Americans say they worry about running out of money more than death. And that's actually up from previous years. I just find that absolutely astonishing. Second, financial risk. This is really a broad category, but can be incredibly scary for participants, even when there are positive indicators in the economy. For example, while concerns around rising costs are high during periods of high inflation, they remain a constant worry for Americans, particularly when faced with uncertainty in the future. Concerns about inflation worsening in the near term are down from previous years, such as 2022 when inflation was at its peak. However, concerns about how inflation may impact them in retirement have remained high, with 76% of Americans concerned that they may not be able to afford the lifestyle they want in retirement due to rising costs. This doesn't even begin to get into the concerns around market volatility. Participants are also tasked with navigating personal financial challenges and other stressors around healthcare and, cost of repairs in maybe a house or supporting family members. So all in all, I just think there's a lot that weighs on the participant minds.
All right, Todd, you want to jump in on this as well?
Yeah, sure. Happy to. So, in our interaction with participants, I think early career, younger participants, it's not uncommon for them to desire the largest pile of money in retirement. They think that is the success. But if you start to talk to participants that are kind of mid-career, or certainly as they get closer to retirement, it's really about that level of certainty that Josh mentions and having that peace of mind that they will be able to maintain their lifestyle within reason. And having the biggest pile of money is important, but it's not as important as the perception may have been earlier on in careers. So I think this is exactly where a service model delivery of decumulation makes a lot of sense. We think about this in the way we're going to come to market and partner with Allianz is to think about income, kind of stacking different types of income in retirement. Most, if not everyone, should have a baseline of Social Security benefits. And then there's kind of the next level of income needs on top of Social Security that often address the lifestyle needs, right? The basic income needs that keep the lights on, keep the food on the table, make sure that you can live your life to a degree. And then there's the third layer, which is kind of that discretionary layer, which is the wants and the nice and the extras on top. And most people are really concerned about really that those first two segments of making sure they don't run out and that they can maintain their lifestyle. So they don't understand how to hedge for inflation. They don't understand how to mix asset classes by and large. I'm not saying everyone, but I think for the masses, to be able to deliver a service that can clearly communicate, very much like Social Security, that you have two checks that'll be coming in retirement, one from Social Security, one from your retirement plan, and that will cover X amount of your current income relative to their current salary. It's really a translatable concept that I think resonates well with participants. And then they can adjust their portfolios or they can adjust their habits to try and create that ultimate top layer of quality of life or extras in retirement. And once they feel like they have a grasp on that model, they're often really comfortable adopting a service that is going to provide that for them, and they'll anchor to it. So I think that's where Allianz and guaranteed income solutions like theirs provide that framework and that visibility and that confidence level. And number two, something that's really unique to the Allianz solution is the flexibility. So a lot of products require you to annuitize, you lose control of the asset in retirement. This is designed to be a guaranteed lifetime income benefit with access to the principal. So all the flexibility remains like a traditional investment with the benefits that you'll have a portion that you cannot outlive. as well as some really elegant features to help hedge against inflation, which participants may not get, as I mentioned, in the short run, but over time, they'll certainly reap the benefits and appreciate, we would imagine, if successful. So there's so much to unpack here in these conversations. And I think it's got to be driven by fiduciaries because there's so many critical decisions that are made, and kind of having that fiduciary construct that leads the development of these decisions around offering these services is going to be key. But I think if done well and done elegantly and done thoughtfully with the end participant in mind, I think there's tremendous value that can really move the needle from the standpoint of that peace of mind that I think a lot of participants are really concerned with today in the marketplace as they near retirement.
Well, that's for sure. All right, guys, we've covered a lot here, but before we wrap up, any quick final thoughts you want to share?
Well, I guess I can maybe jump in first. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow Todd there. I feel like that was just the perfect wrap. But, maybe taking us back to the beginning, we started the conversation recognizing that people are living longer. And obviously that's tremendous, but it also requires then adjustments to retirement planning and the strategies that we're leveraging. And I think guaranteed lifetime income is a key piece of the overall puzzle, but it's just one key piece. And so I really want to emphasize the amount of partnership that goes on within the industry, obviously with us in TRPC, that to take all of this to the market, it's essential to be able to partner and use others in the industry to get there. We definitely can't do it on our own. It's going to take a team. So we're excited about all the work that's going on.
I haven't made it clear. I think retirement is very personal. Accumulation can be somewhat broad, although I would argue that also is a personal endeavor. But retirement is very personal, hyper-personal, I would say. And so being able to partner and design and develop solutions, not only for us, but for really the entire industry that are personalized and speak to that uniqueness of each individual are going to be critical. I think we are at or beyond the tipping point here. And, it's really an exciting time to be in the industry. There's periods over the time where things tend to look very similar for long periods of time in our industry. I think we're at a major change point, and I think that's great for everyone involved. Yeah, and I think that inflection point plus the onset of a lot of new solutions in the marketplace is really just going to raise the bar for everyone and ultimately benefit these participants the most, hopefully. I mean, that's the goal. So I'm optimistic, as you can tell, and really excited to see where the next steps are.
Well, I have to agree. Momentum has definitely been building for in-plan lifetime income solutions, and I'm hearing more and more about it every day. All right. Well, this has been great. Joshua Grass from Allianz Life and Todd Levy from the Retirement Plan Company. Thanks for joining us today and sharing your insights on the 401k Specialist podcast.
Thank you.
At Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, we understand the importance of a holistic approach to retirement planning. That's why we're leading the way with forward-thinking insights and practice management tools to help you fuel your income knowledge. Visit allianzlife.com/DC Plan Research to access these resources and learn more about how annuities can help participants prepare for a secure retirement.